Sharline is a former Waltham city councillor. Waltham is one of the great cities in Massachusetts, and Waltham is also dubbed the Kampala of Massachusetts. Sharline, as somebody who has worked in a government that works, what do you think Ugandans should do to be able to attain the dream that the cape that you're putting on, the change that red beret is always promising Ugandans? What can we do as Ugandans in the diaspora, as Africans? What can we do to get democracies to our countries? And for it to work just like you worked in one that really, really works.
So first and foremost, as you all know, I'm a refugee from Uganda, and I'm so glad that Massachusetts welcomed me. And when I was younger, I used to say something that I don't believe anymore, because I used to say that you cannot legislate from Washington and heal what ails Africa. Africans have to rise up and heal what ails Africa. And we have, look at Bobby Wine and the people's movement and the young people involved in that movement. However, in Washington, you can stop aiding and abetting a dictator and an authoritarian. So right now, what can we do in the diaspora? There are 22 senators on the Foreign Affairs Committee, and I'm blessed to have one of my state senators, Ed Markey, on that committee. So I urge you to find out. We don't have time to read off all 22 senators. You can easily Google that. Write to them. If we all write to our senators and make our voices heard, that you are giving Museveni billions of dollars. None of that money goes to poor people. All that money has gone to militarize and just further strengthen his chokehold on our democracy. So when you told me about, speaking of being a city councillor as it relates to Uganda, I was up all night, puffy eyes, as evidence, trying to find correlations, and really there aren't. It's like never the twain shall meet, because I was elected in a functional democracy, and except I do have to tell this story that I tell all the time. When I was running for city council, I'm knocking on doors, this Ugandan with all this energy about how to make change in Waltham, and I had all these ideas. So I tell this man that, we need a planning board. And he said to me, it's not the job of a city council to plan the city. We already have a city planner, and it's certainly not the job of a city councillor from Uganda. So I laughed, and but that man does not represent all the people that elected me into office. So when we look at Uganda and our youth, and what they have done is highlight the fact that they can't stand for Museveni's oppressive ways anymore, his tyrannical rule, his barbaric rule, and they're going to speak up, even if it means their lives taken. In America, the youth are done with our two-party political system. That's why they're so involved in the progressive movement. They haven't seen government work as it should with Democrats. They haven't seen government as it work as it should with Republicans, and they're thinking, what's wrong with this picture? How can we effect change? So I'm so proud of that generation, which includes my daughter. Those young adults are really, they are teaching us so much about affecting change. So your question was, what can we do? Write to our senators, tweet, make our voices heard, protest, because if America and the West continue to enable these people, as long as it's politically expedient for them. Yes, Uganda did a great job combating HIV, for example, but just one good deed of a dictator, a tyrant, cannot compensate or cannot make up for all the bloodshed and the lives he's taken. My brother was exiled to Sweden when Museveni took seized our government during that war. And what some of these young people don't realize is that Museveni would go into a village at night, kill off all the parents, come back in the morning and say, oh my gosh, what happened here? Oh, then they would lament, say, do you want retribution? Join my army. Because people wonder, how can he have this army of loyalists? Because they think he rescued them. That is the smarter version of Idi Amin. Okay, so when you look at somebody like Museveni and what he's done to our country, you have to say, okay, what can we do in Washington? We have to cut off aid. That's my next big thing. Organize, use all my campaign skills and everything I learned running for office to make our voices heard in Washington. So that's my take on it.